Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy AB, and welcome back. Welcome back. And I'm so happy. I'm just so happy to be back. Happy to see you guys. Happy to you guys to be back here for another season number 2 of Open Gym Podcast with yours truly, your host, AB, man. And I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be here with you guys, man. Starting the new sports season, man. Sports is in full effect. Basketball, football, baseball is on its way to the playoffs. It's just a whole lot going on. Track and field, college football, bets, everything is in full effect, and everything is back. And I'm just so glad to be back for this second season, man. A lot has transpired over the time. Me getting back, me getting here with you guys, man. And man, let's turn up, man. We here. AB is here. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like, comment, and share with everyone, man. This is going to be a great season that we are approaching right now, and I'm just going to be here, bring you the latest content, the latest news, the latest notes, everything that's going on around these sports leagues, man. And we just going to hop right into it. But before we go in, I do want to let you know as well, man, as I've been going, preparing for this second season. Obviously, fall is on its way. Got a new fall collection line that's coming out. As you can see, this shirt right here. See the got stuff on the back and everything with it. But got a whole shirt line, hat line, everything coming out this fall for everyone to see. It should be some dope things for everyone. And hopefully you guys purchase, help the cause, keep things moving and going. Then also a new segment. Open Gym, a new segment called All Access, and our first athlete that we gonna have on our new segment of All Access is actually a boxer from Philly who is actually about to fight, has an upcoming fight September 29th by the name of Josh Real War Jones, going for 8-0 in his professional career, man. And hopefully you guys tune into that trailer. Should be dropping out real soon. I would say within like a week. Yeah, it's Monday, so it should be dropping out real soon, man. But other than that, man, hey, let's get right into it. Couple things that around the sports world that caught attention to me, that I enjoyed, that I seen, that I just wanted to bring to you guys. Colorado, we all know the talk. Colorado State, Deion Sanders, prime time. The Buffaloes, man. This past weekend, great weekend of college football. That it was exciting. You know how Dion is. They had everyone out there, man, from every news station, from First Take, from Pat McAfee, ESPN, all the stars. Lil Wayne bringing the team out. You got Michael Irvin in his hotel room with no shirt on.
Oh my God! Did you see that game? Prime time!
Snapping. I don't know what's wrong with that guy. I mean, you had everyone out there, even from Instagram, like Desi and man, it's a show out there in Colorado right now, and I know it's a good time out there, and I'm proud of Deion and the Colorado Buffaloes and his team so far. It was 3-0. The latest opponent was Colorado State, who I didn't know the rivalry between those two teams was so deep and hated, but it was crazy this whole weekend. A lot of chirping between the coaches, and then even with the kids and everything, and the students, athletes, and everything like that. It was a great game. Colorado came back in double overtime, beat Colorado State 43-35 with a comeback win led by and spearheaded by their quarterback Shador Sanders, primetime Deion Sanders' son, who plays quarterback for them. In double overtime, he threw 38 for 47, 348 yards, one INT and 4 TDs, and to cap it off, his fourth TD was in double overtime to a game-winning pass to Jimmy Horn. It was a great game, and it showed a lot of things that we wanted to see. There was a lot of talk like Ken Shador is saying there's be a NFL quarterback. Is he ready for the Power Five conference? Is he ready for D1 college? Coming from Jackson State and everything like that. And so far, so good, man. He's showing that he belongs. He's showing he has the arm. He's showing he has the arm accuracy, everything that comes along with it. But then also showing what he got in between the noggin right there, being able to lead his team back to a victory like that. And then on top of it, losing your best player, two-way player, with Travis Hunter getting late hit by, what's the DB name? Henry Blackburn. I mean, come on, college football. I hate the targeting rule in general. And if y'all don't, for those who don't know, the targeting rule in college is if you hit a player a certain way, it looks like you're, targeting them, late hit or leading with your head or trying to hit them a blindside hit, anything like that, they can eject you, throw you out the game. This particular play was literally the quintessential definition of targeting. The ball was overthrown. Travis Hunter had no opportunity to really catch the ball, and he was out of bounds, and the DB from Colorado State, Henry Blackburn, hits him late, and then now the news is released that he's out for 4 weeks with a lacerated spleen, which is just like, I don't get it. And the DB was able to continue to play in the game, which I just didn't understand as far as what was going on when it came to that and that rules. And the rules is just dumb if you're not going to even enforce it when it's literally blatant and clear just like that. So then also don't forget his other son also plays for Colorado, Shiloh Sanders as well. He had a 80-yard pick six. He ain't got the speed like Pat because he needed to be high stepping that thing into the end zone. But, it is what it is, man. It was a great overall gritty showing by the team to be able to come back, follow with their leader, Shador at the quarterback, him leading them to a comeback win, man. That was a great game to see. Came on very late. So everybody on the East Coast that was dealing with that 10 o'clock start, it was kind of vicious, but great game overall, man. And also the Travis Hunter, man, get well soon. The hit was nutty, man. We all know the hit was terrible. It shouldn't have happened. He should have been ejected, all that. But, man, get healthy soon. Travis, man, we know you'll be back soon. You'll be back on that field and going right at it. And then also, lastly, Sha'carri Richardson. This is definitely one that speaks to me that I enjoy. We all know her story, going to the Olympics, being disqualified, finding the weed substance in her system, THC, whatever it is that they found, not being able to run, and then all the backlash from it, and then her being talked about, and everything that came along with it. And then for her comeback season this year to be able to win the world titles in the women's 100 meters, crazy. And then not even win it, but win it convincingly and set world records essentially like that. To be able to win these things is crazy dope, and I'm glad to see her back and her in a space where her mind, body, soul, and spirit is just all connected, and it's all centered, and it's all gearing and ready and ready to go essentially like that. So I'm definitely glad seeing her back in her full. And she did say next season she's all about competition. She's all about getting better, all about getting faster. So she said she's running the 200-meter next year. So let's see what's going on, man. I'm happy to see her moving forward and going forward essentially like that in her career. So definitely that's something dope in that I loved seeing over the weekend as well. And then, let's get right into it. We all know. Are you ready for the football? You already know, man. It's football time. It's football season, man. Season 2023-24. The new season has begun. All right. We are 2 games into the season already. And I know there's a lot of different things that's going on in NFL season right now that we can talk about, with some rookies that's playing, that's doing well, new quarterbacks, new players on new teams, people hurt, contract holdouts, a whole lot of different hosts of things. But today in this episode, starting off the new season of season 2 Open Gym Podcast, man, we're going to start right at home, man, the NFC conference, the NFC East to be specific. that we're gonna talk about, man. Cause hey, man, it's all about. You see it in the background. Hold on. You see it already. You you already see it. You already see it. You already see it. You know what it's about. It's bird game in this bed. No, but real rap though, man. Like, Jay Hurts and them Eagles game. That's what it's all about. Bird game to the death of it. But let's just talk about the NFC East. We're gonna hop right into it, man. Right now, currently tied for first place. You got the Cowboys, Eagles, and the Redskins, and then coming up last, obviously, is the Giants at 1-1. Uh, who we want to start with here? Who we want to start with? We can go anywhere. I mean, let's just start with, I guess, the team that everyone is talking about right now. It's the hot thing right now. You got even people like Skip Bayless tweeting, "We're going to the Super Bowl." You already know what we about to talk about. Them lame, plain Jane, overrated, most pub, $1 billion, Jerry Jones owning, stinking cow boys. Let's hop into it. I mean, listen. What jumps off the back? I know everyone is excited right now, especially you Cowboys fans. 2-0 on the season, two convincing wins. But let's be real. Who we talking about here that you guys even just played? Both the New York teams who stink. The New York Giants, as we all know, has Daniel Jones, and the New York Jets, who season is, for all intents and purposes, over since they game one 4 plays in when Aaron Rodgers goes there with the torn Achilles, and you had Zach freaking Wilson having to come in and lead the charge as your quarterback. Now, I must say, I'm not going to say and discredit what I've seen on the field, what I've seen from different players, especially the defense, and specifically Micah Parsons, who's been running amok and who's been playing like what he's supposed to been playing. Well, we all knew what Micah Parsons was coming out of college from Penn State. Man, we all knew he was a beast. If the Eagles would have had a chance to get him, we would have had him as well. So we all knew. He was a top 5 freaking draftee coming out of that draft that year. So we all know like what his talent and what his potential could have been coming into the season. It does pop off players. The defense is flying around. The offense hasn't been spectacular, but they have absolutely have made some plays, with CD Lamb and having some additions like Brandon Cooks, tight end Ferguson, Tony Pollard, who looks real well after coming off the injury he had last season. Wasn't expecting him to come off the way, start the season off as well as he has, but he looks all right. He looks good. He looks fairly healthy. I know it's not 100%, but it definitely looks better than what I expected him to be coming off that injury. But we all know this happens every year, people. This happens every year with the Cowboys. They start off well, and y'all riding high. Super Bowl. How about them Cowboys? The Eagles fans this and X, Y, and Z. Shut it. Because we all know once we get to that latter half of the season, start playing better teams, quarterbacks that are as good or better than your current quarterback, defenses that actually can stop you, and now you have to score, and the ball is in your quarterback's hands. This is what we have to look forward to when it comes to the Cowboys. And then please don't even tell me about playoffs. Don't even let them get into the playoffs. Because we already know what's about to happen in the playoffs once the Cowboys get into the playoffs. They had one playoff win in the last however many years? Definitely over 5 for sure. Definitely over 5 for sure. So don't even give me that when it comes to that right there. So that's definitely the Cowboys. Like I said, the team is good. The team is great. The team is very explosive. It has the potential to be really good. just off talent. But how long had the Dallas Cowboys has talent? Come on. Be real with me. They've always have talent. At one time had the best offensive line in the NFL. At one time had the best running game with Ezekiel Elliott. They had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. Now they got CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott is still the quarterback. You got Trayvon Diggs and you got Micah Parsons. Now you added Then you can you think of the cornerback the cornerback's name? It slips my mind right now, but he was in Indy last year. He wait for the Stephen Gilmore. Added him to the mix. Malik Hooker. The team had the talent, but we all know when the pressure as the season goes on and the pressure continues to mount and the pressure continues to build and expectations continue to mount and expectations continue to build, the Cowboys start to shrink. The Cowboys start to fall off. The Cowboys start to bicker. The Cowboys start to fight. Then we all know it was supposed to be a revelation. You got Mike McCarthy calling plays now, who's the head of the game now and everything like that. We all know how the Cowboys. Talk to me later on down in the season or in the playoffs. Then we can start talking about how real the Cowboys are. Again, 2-0, you got to play who you got to play in that's in front of you, because y'all would say that about the Eagles as well. As far as it was easy, blah, blah. But it does matter when you have to put things into context. That's why you have to. The Jets, as soon as Aaron Rodgers got hurt, season was done. Season was done. You hear me? So they played one abysmal team and one just incomplete team who has all the pieces around them, but the main piece, and that's quarterback. So that's dumb. Then you had the Washington Commanders, who's also 2-0. Won 2 games, 2 solid games. I understand, but I feel like that's like a mirage, and things will tell off and settle down as the season go on. The Washington Commanders right now, and they're just happy to just have a competent, at least a little bit competent or better owner, because Snyder was just a complete butthole down there. So they're just happy to just have a new owner overall. But the bad news is their new owner is Josh Harris. And all my Philadelphians that know who Josh Harris is, who is the owner of not only the New Jersey Devils, but also our beloved, or not so beloved at the moment, Philadelphia 76ers. Who, if Josh Harris even had a post or even an inkling of understanding and appreciation of his fan base, he would treat his teams better than what he is, instead of just trying to line it with more billions of dollars. The man literally said out of his mouth pocket when asked why he bought the Commanders, "I love to make money." So it's evident in where his allegiance lies, not really to the team. But I'm not going to. That's a whole nother thing we can go into. Man, I like Ron Rivera. He's a nice guy. He battled some different things, adversity in his life, and want to see him, just be a good person, succeed in life in general. Sam Howell was the quarterback, who is not terrible, but like, are you sitting here saying Sam Howell's taking the Washington Redskins to the championship? I beg to differ about that at this moment for sure, but we shall see, and we shall see as the season goes along, essentially like that. And then we had the Giants at 1-1. Okay, all I have to say is Daniel Jones. Literally, that's all I have to say is Daniel Jones, who's just been. And granted, y'all probably not gonna say this right now. They just came back from 21 points down this past weekend, over the Arizona Cardinals. That's the issue, though. Why are you coming back from the Arizona Cardinals, who are literally on purpose trying to tank? on purpose trying to lose, on purpose trying to get the number one pick in the NFL draft of 2024 to select quarterback from USC, Caleb Williams, who's purposely trying to do that. Why were you down 21-0 in the first place? That right there should let you know right now about the New York freaking Giants. That Daniel Jones couldn't do anything against a depleted team as that, who's traded everybody and they mama away except for Buda Baker, who's literally probably secretly wishing and praying each and every day he get a phone call from Jonathan Gannon saying that, hey dude, you're on your way out the door. That would probably be the best day of his life, essentially, like that. But here we are. The Giants are sitting there struggling with the Arizona Cardinals, who literally are purposely trying to lose to get the number one pick in next year's draft. That right there lets me know I'm out on the Giants. Never was in on the Giants, and I feel bad for you Giants fans who had to sit there and see this offseason that they re-signed Daniel Jones to a new contract. So y'all have to see him for the next couple of years, and I don't feel bad because it makes it big, because I'm going to take that back that I feel bad. I don't feel bad. I'm going to take that back because I'm elated. Keep him here as long as you possibly can, because if that's going to be your quarterback, let's move on. Other 2-0 team on the season, the Philadelphia Eagles, led by our head coach Nick Sirianni and quarterback Jalenhurts. I know you guys are like, oh, he's boasting, he struggled with the Patriots week 1, semi-struggled with the Vikings on, was that Monday Night Football. All valid points that I don't disagree with, because we do have a lot of things to fix. But if you compare the two teams, you're saying Justin Jefferson, Bill Belichick. I feel like those are two comparable teams to be able to go up against. And, not having a whole training camp, not really practicing, no preseason games played with the starters, have some rest. New OC, new play caller, new weapons defensively. There's a team, there's a lot of things that have to come together and a lot of things that come together and a lot of things that have to go right for this team to mesh. It's a lot of games. It's a lot of teams. It's a lot of season to play. Yes, it gets hard, especially leading into that second half, and especially the second half of the season, but definitely a lot of there's going to be a lot of this going on, a lot of how much willpower that you have going further into the season. I mean, right now it doesn't look the best, obviously, but it's early and we got a lot of time, and I have more faith because of the culture that the Eagles team has built. And then I'm gonna put the bias aside, and this just being realistic as what's going on right now, and especially being on this side, being able to see and hear and read about, and sometimes even be in the midst of certain things to be able to see what's going on down at the NovaCare complex and with these Eagles compared to other, national correspondents or people outside of the city that just don't really know what's going on in this city. I mean, it's a lot that goes on to it, but let's just get to the good. Obviously, Monday night home game against the Vikings. It was the breakout game of DeAndre Swift, the homegrown talent from Philly, who was originally in Detroit with the Lions, who this offseason got traded for a fourth to the Eagles to come back home to Philly, which he is from. He had 170 yards rushing, a touchdown. It was just a great game, a great home debut, a great debut to the season and to the world and to this team, essentially, in the city, essentially, like that, is what we shall see going forward, essentially, like that. But to get to some things that just, that we some pause for concern to see what's going on. Obviously, injuries right now, which I'm kind of glad we're going through these struggles and hurdles right now, leading into the season. But injuries right now, obviously getting the news about Avante Maddox. Maddox going in for surgery for a torn pec, who they're listing it right now as out indefinitely, which for all intents and purposes look like it's the season essentially. So you might lose him for the season. Obviously, Nakobe Dean is out for 4 weeks. He's on a 4 week IR with the I believe it's a foot injury, if I'm not mistaken. And then you know right now guys who were just nursing injuries who didn't actually play Monday night. We had a lot of rookies playing Monday night as well. More context for you. Reed Blankenship, Boston Scott, who got hurt in the game, Kenny Gainwell, all dealing with injuries right now that they're nursing just to get back. And Nick did say that they do look like they're trending or have a real likely for them to be playing for our next game, essentially like that. So those are some early on things, but injuries is more of a like that more so will combat and more come at your depth as far as how you build a team. Do you have the right pieces to be able to step into place and fill those roles for either short or long periods of time and keep the ship steady? And I believe our team is built better and with more depth and younger depth as well. And Howie has done a great job these last couple off seasons being able to build this team, and then also the culture around it, knowing that the next man up and step in and do your job essentially like that. Special teams is still definitely an issue, obviously. I did hear that they did, today they released Aaron Sipas, who was our current punter, who couldn't punt worth a lick. Uh, am signed. I believe the man is Brendan Mann, who's on a couple teams prior, but they signed him and released Aaron Sipa, so he must be already. They must like the way they seen, so we might get some better punts nowadays. You can punt more than 20 to 30 yards in front of them. Brenton Covey, I don't want to see another second time a day back returning punts. Essentially, I'm not understand why Amadeus Zacchaeus can't do punt returns, who's our fourth wide receiver, who's has experience doing it. I'm not sure why, but I cannot stand Brenton Covey back there anymore. Just calling fair punts, and when he does try to run, he gets smacked and and he fumbles. I'm done with that whole experience essentially like that. But if I just had to point out the one thing that I probably worries me the most, and you'd be surprised it wouldn't be the defense, even though the defense has the most holes that needed to be filled this offseason, and still things are working out. Obviously, losing Dean, you got a guy, Nicholas Murrow, who's playing middle linebacker now, who actually got cut and they had to bring back. And then you got Cunningham, who's next to Dean, playing linebacker, who wasn't even on the roster until maybe a week or two prior to the season actually starting. So I know it's a lot of different things, but me personally, uh, I like some of the play calls, our DC calls now, and then also that defensive line. And then you get James Bradbury back from concussion protocol. Slay still out there on the other side. I feel like we'll be a stable unit, or at least a solid unit where we bend and no break or just do your job. The last week we had forced a couple turnovers, things of that nature. So I feel like the defense, as we continue to grow and learn, and you got the right mixture of vets and young guys out there, they would get better. But offensively, Brian Johnson, who is the offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles, who's known Jalen Hurts since he was 4 years old, and also the play caller for the Philadelphia Eagles each and every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday night, giving me pause for concern. Am I panicking? No. First time OC, first time play caller. It's going to be some growing pains. He's going to have to learn. He's going to have to really learn how to adjust and maneuver when it comes to the ins and outs and the ebbs and flows of a football game each and every week. But it's definitely something Paul's concerned, because the first two games, just looking over it, not real, not real fond of play calling, when things are called, how much Jalen is running, what type of plays are being called. Yes, players are open. Jalen does own some responsibilities, some things missing, some players who are open, not getting certain players involved, which we will touch on in a second. Things like that, but I feel like think they can still work out, but it does cause pause for concern because it can get bad when it comes to offense. When coming into this season, the offense is and was supposed to be the strong suit of this season. So uh, those are the, I guess, the things I'm worried about when it comes to the 76. I mean, to the Philadelphia Eagles, 76ers, Philadelphia Eagles, but definitely something that I feel like as we go through the season, we'll learn more about. But it doesn't hinder us enough. We still have enough talent. We still have enough depth on this team to be able to still make the playoffs and still make a run for the championship and in the Super Bowl. It's just a matter of how developed or how fast players and coaches can develop throughout the season. And then let's just get to the elephant in the room. Just a side note for everyone out there that's just like freaking out right now about the whole AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni moment on the sideline. And I don't know these men because I'm not going to speak as if like I know them personally, but I'm just speaking from who I am, how I've grown up. I have someone that I'm like best friends with, the godfather of my child, or I'm the godfather of his child, either war, and we're that close. And this again, that argument or that little dispute could have not even been with Jalen Hurts. It just looks like that. So let's just speak about them two specifically. They good. Brothers fight all the time. Brothers argue. Brothers had dispute. And right after that, we good. Right after that, we good. Right after that, we good. I mean, someone did bring up a point that I heard that maybe it wasn't necessarily AJ and Jalen. Maybe it was a AJ and Brian Johnson situation where it's just like any wide receiver. I don't care what wide receiver it is. The anomaly of a wide receiver not being a diva are very few. When you have people like a Larry Fitzgerald, you know what I'm saying? Or Andre Johnson or Calvin Johnson, people like that who are more mild-mannered, don't say a lot of things or don't be an uproar with the team, just go in and do their job. But 98%, and that's like a 2 or 1% population right there, probably one. But the 99% of wide receivers in the NFL are a diva, especially anyone worth a sand of salt or a pack of salt, whatever the saying is, essentially like that. Any wide receiver worth anything going to want the ball, wants to be involved, wants to be involved in the game plan, and in this situation, rightfully so. Like I said, we had issues with Brian Johnson with some of the play calling that he was doing, and it was just wondering, like, why is AJ not being targeted? Why is Dollar Goller not being targeted? Why aren't we running the ball with DeAndre Swift in the first game versus the second game? Why is Kenny Gainwell running the ball 9 times straight to start off your first 15 scripted plays? Like, it was different things like that. So that situation, that is whatever. That is water under the bridge, whatever else cliche or whatever you want to say about it, essentially like that. So I'm not worried about that situation whatsoever. So that's when it comes to the NFC East. It's going to be good. It's going to be tight. It's going to come down to a couple games towards the end of the season, so I can't wait to see how that goes. And, yeah, man, at the end of the day, I still feel like the Eagles going to win the division. It might be close. It might come down to how between the Cowboys and Eagles and who beat that series between those two and hold the tiebreaker, things like that. A lot of things can happen throughout the season, essentially like that. So I can't wait to see how this unfolds and how the season goes. And and at the end of the day, you're gonna see a whole lot of this. A whole lot of this season everywhere, and into the postseason as well, making the run that I believe we're going to win the NFC East. Obviously, no one in the NFC's ever won a division 2 years in a row. This is going to be the first time we're going to do that. We're going to win the division. We're going to go into the playoffs. We're going to make that run, and let's see how this season go. Expectations for me, absolutely Super Bowl. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and I'm tired of being that Philadelphia team or fan or whatever you want to call it, just being scared of people. Like, no, we have a great team, a great culture, great players, a great quarterback, and we need to go out there and display it. No matter who we have to face, how good the team is, how bad the team is, whoever's in front of you, do what you got to do, and let's go win these games. At minimum, at minimum NFC championship game for me, and that's just being real. And that obviously maximum win the Super Bowl. But let's move on. We're gonna move on to these 76ers, man. We have a lot going on, a lot of new players, young players coming in, like a Mo Bamba, uh, things of that nature like that. Pat Bev, who's here now, who's been really trying to integrate himself with the city. So I love seeing him out there doing his thing as well with his podcast and everything like that. And him just really integrating himself, man. Pat Bev, a cool dude. Uh, Definitely a funny dude as well. But then obviously, he a dog on the court, play defense, things of that nature like that. But obviously, you got Nick Nurse as the new head coach. Doc Rivers is out. We have training camp in 2 weeks that'll be starting real soon. Obviously, there's a lot of different things that's swirling around in the NBA world. It's been a little quiet right now, but as we get closer to training camps that's starting in 2 weeks, things will start revving up. Obviously, I like to see things like Embiid and Maxey out at the Rico Hines workhouse, who Rico Hines is one of the assistant coaches on the Philadelphia 76ers that came across with Nick Nurse as well. So he's out there with them. They're just really gelling. A lot of the Sixers players out there, a lot of the role players like a Paul Reed, Melton Williams, Mo Bamba, a lot of different players out there just working out together, really learning, getting to know each other, things that they just so it's definitely cool to see. But then also just this year, just looking forward, me personally, just looking forward to see Joel Embiid, what step he takes forward, how serious he gets when it comes to his health and conditioning. Right now, definitely looks good. Definitely see the difference in the weight that he has on his body. He's definitely slimmed down. So let's see how this goes. If it works better for him when it comes to injuries, things of that nature like that, how healthy he can stay essentially this season. So we will see at that. And then obviously with Maxi going into year 4, I believe it is. Can he take that extra leap? Because obviously we're going to need him to take that extra leap. And the leap for me, I need Maxi to average at minimum 25 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not probably not on the mark, but if you're sitting there telling me Maxi averages 24.5, 25.1, 23.9 points a game, something around that 23 to 25 range, averaging a game, I will take that. That's the type of lead that this Sixer teams need, because we need that extra punch of offensive firepower with the same cast coming back with a lot of defenders and rebounders and role players, screen setters, things of that nature like that. Who's going to bring the offense? And like I just said, a lot of the players coming back, and basically the same team will be coming back, because if you didn't hear the latest news right now, just recently released, and y'all was like, well, the same team. What about James Harden? Yes. Just recently released, the Los Angeles Clippers have ended all trade discussions with the Philadelphia 76ers with James Harden as we speak. So for all intents and purposes, James Harden is coming back. Contractually, at least. Now, if does he actually show up? He has threatened not to show up, things of that nature like that, threatened to make things get real uncomfortable and all those things. So we will see. We see how that transpires, if he shows up, if he doesn't show up. But at this point, at this juncture, with training camp only 2 weeks away, it's probably more beneficial for both sides. Harden, you got the 1 year, you got the money. Come and play, finish the year out. You're a free man to go do whatever you want to do. And Jane and Daryl Morey, you get the player you need to be able to help fulfill this team this season, to see if you can go one more shot to go get a championship. And if not, obviously he leaves. Money is freed, and we're able to sit here and just like see what the next plan is. New system with Nick Nurse, how he's going to use James Harden, we will see. I know he's said a couple things about like Joel Embiid, how he wants to become more of a, not more of a, but be more dominant in defending as well. more attempts at block shots, swinging at the ball. I don't know if I want to do that too much because he is still your star player who you need offensively to continue to be in the game. You don't want him with 4 or 5 fouls in the second quarter, essentially like that. But see what he does. He speaks a lot about Paul Reed, how he looks at him as a Siakam, how he wants to use him with screening and rolling and defensively and lobs at the rim, out and running in transition, even extending his range, putting him at the three-point line as well, shooting corner threes, elbow threes, things of that nature like that. So he comes in, he talks a good game. He talks a lot of different things that he has planned for the team. So we will see how things go, how things transpire with this team going into the season. So I'm definitely looking forward to the season and how that turns out, essentially like that. But as for the James Harden thing, hey man, I guess the best situation for them to do right now is Daryl and James to sit down, bend fences, talk to each other, see how you can come to a common resolution in the situation. And just let's see, even if you can just put it aside and let this be a business trip or a business year, I would say. This is a business year. Hey man, you want to win a chip? Let's go get this chip. After this year, I know you don't like it. You hate me. You don't want to be here. Let's get on out of here, man. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to with training camp starting this 2 weeks, man. So, yeah, man, 76ers, you on deck, man, because as for the fans right now, I can tell you right now, they burnt out, they tired, they sick of it, they're disappointed, they're mad, they upset. They're all those things, all the above, man. At this point, the regular season don't even start. Get to the playoffs. Let's get to the second round. Let's see if we can finally get past that door, man. But this your boy AB, man. I thank you guys for hopping in for this first episode of the second season of Open Gym Podcast, man, right here on Open Gym Network, man. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Make sure you like, man. Make sure you share. Tell everyone about it. Every week we dropping the episode, every week. And like I said, look out for the new installment of Open Gym Network All Access with Josh Real War Jones, who has a fight coming up September 29th in Philadelphia, man. It's going to be a good one there. That's dropping real soon. And then a lot of other things that we got planned. The merch, as you can see, we got that back out again. The Open Gym merch, that's going to be dropping real soon. You'll be seeing something about that. It's just, a little something I had just to put on, just to give you a little look-see about it. It's like, no, but man, I'm glad you guys hopped in with me for this first episode, man. We going to get on out of here. And until next time, it's your boy AB, and this is Open Gym Network. Yes, sir!